captains of this evening's match. For Uniontown.
The South Union Township Supervisors, in cooperation with Armstrong and Breezeline Cable, present the South Union Township Sports Network. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Fernan, and Jason Scott. Breezeline Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. Tonight we have high school boys soccer action as the Laurel Highlands Mustangs host the Uniontown Red Raiders. Laurel Highlands 4-6-1 overall, 3-6 in conference play. Jerry Rogers, the head coach of the Mustangs. Uniontown 2-8 overall, 0-8 in conference play. Jamie Holland, the head coach of the Uniontown Red Raiders. We expect a competitive game tonight. You go back to last year. Uniontown ended a 34-game Laurel Highlands winning streak that dated back to 2004, knocking off the Mustangs, back on August the 28th of 2003 by a score of 2-1. Laurel Highlands would best the Red Raiders by the same score on September the 25th of last year. And this is the only scheduled meeting between the Mustangs and the Red Raiders here in 2024, with the two schools playing in different conferences. Captains meeting across the field on the far side, and I'll turn it over in just a moment to our public address announcer, Jason Taylor, for our starting lineups here this evening as the Red Raiders and the Mustangs battle. If you joined us earlier, the Laurel Highlands girls with a 6-1 win over the Uniontown girls in our first match of the night. I'm Brian Morozak alongside Carl Childs. Jason Taylor, public address announcer tonight. Reminder, if you're watching this match on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, I'd like to let you know that all of the South Union Township Sports Network games and programs are available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union TV, or follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for program updates, facebook.com/South Union TV. Subscribe for notifications anytime we go live. I'll turn it over to Jason now for the starting lineups.
Welcome once again, everybody, to Mustang Field for Game 2 of our crosstown doubleheader. We'll be visiting Uniontown Red Raiders and your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Now the starting lineups. First, we're visiting Uniontown Red Raiders. They were led by head coach Jamie Holland, assistant coach Tony Cornelli. A senior, number 22, Kyle Osma Davis. A senior, number 6, Rocco Fiore. A junior, number 21, Ethan Roebuck. A junior, number 30, Nick Smith. In goal for the Red Raiders, a sophomore, number 1, Noah Holland. A sophomore, number 10, Braylon Woods. A sophomore, number 18, Logan Davis. A sophomore, number 20, Tommy Parisi. A sophomore, number 25, Saul Mesquita. A freshman, number 19, Carson Soltis. And a freshman, number 11, Ty Harvey. And now, the starting lineup for your Laurel Highlands Mustangs are led by head coach Jerry Rogers, assistant coaches Josh Nairn, Vernon Chandler, and Jerry Rogers Jr. A senior, number 1, Connor Yumiko. A senior, number 4, Ryan Rockwell. In goal for the Mustangs, a sophomore, number 5, Dan O'Neill. A junior, number 8, Cole Radcliffe. A senior, number 15, Tanner Ruzda. A freshman, number 16, Jackson Nairn. A senior, number 17, Maddox McAllister. A junior, number 22, Casey Mahoney. A junior, number 23, Brody Baker. A sophomore, number 28, Ethan Perkins. And a sophomore, number 38, Matt Kalensi. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask everybody please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Just about set to go, our second of 2 tonight on the South Union Township Sports Network. The Laurel Highlands boys taking on Uniontown. Brian Morozak along with Carl Childs. Nice to have you along with us. As we mentioned last year, the two meetings between these two schools relatively close. Uniontown winning the first 2-1. Mustangs coming back, winning the second meeting 2-1. We hope for another competitive, close game here tonight. Uniontown and Laurel Highlands playing in separate conferences here in 2024, even though both programs in 3A, the Mustangs in Section 2, enter play today 4-6-1, 3-6 in the conference. They're in 6th place right now in the top 4, make the WPIAL playoffs. Uniontown playing in Section 3. They're 2-8 overall, 0-8 in conference play. Section 3 comprising of 8 teams, but Washington decided not to play a conference schedule. They're just playing non-conference games, so they're not being factored into the conference standings. So basically 7 teams playing for positioning in Section 3. And surprisingly, in that conference. Belt Vernon always a soccer powerhouse, 4-5 overall, 1-5 in the conference. So the Leopards surprisingly down a bit as far as high school soccer is concerned here in 2024. But tonight, Uniontown and Laurel Highlands, Red Raiders in the away whites with maroon numbers, maroon shorts. They're working left to right as we describe it. Laurel Highlands in the home Reds, white numbers, blue shorts, working right to left. Rain actually picking up a little bit here at Mustang Field as this match gets underway between Uniontown and Laurel Highlands. And the numbers up for both of these programs. Looking at the rosters tonight, Laurel Highlands 36 players on their roster. Uniontown 33 players, among the highs we've seen on the Uniontown side for high school boys soccer in quite some time. The Red Raiders looking for an early breakdown the far side there with Kyle Hospa-Davis, one of the Uniontown co-captains. And the play whistled down, and actually a foul called here on Laurel Highlands. So Uniontown will get a free kick less than a minute in for Mustang Field. Only meeting of the season between Uniontown and Laurel Highlands. Free kick here from about 29 yards out. Red Raiders look to strike first. And that one going high and wide here on the near side. O'Neal didn't even have an opportunity to get a piece of it. And Daniel O'Neal putting it down for Laurel Highlands. He's played great in goal for the Mustangs this season, only a sophomore. Now Tanner Bruzda pushing it back there to Matt Kolensik. Mustangs coming out of their own zone. D'Amico. Not much happening on that rush. And Uniontown retreating. Trying to set it up from their own zone. Both teams feeling each other out here in the opening 2 minutes. Mustangs' Tanner Bruzda stepping up in the play. Red Raiders knocking it down. Looking to get a little possession time here out of their own zone with Nick Smith. But the Mustangs coming back on the counterattack. Look out here. Cole Radcliffe with a blast just going wide here on the near side. Radcliffe and Rockwell very dangerous on that Laurel Highlands front line. Noah Holland, the keeper for the Uniontown Red Raiders. As Uniontown breaking out of their own zone. Working back through center on a little chip going cross field on the near side that was intended there for Ethan Roebuck. There is Braylon Woods, Red Raiders sophomore, wearing number 10. Ratcliffe coming over on the Mustangs side. Now Laurel Highlands retreating to their back line with Casey Mahoney. Touch from Kolensik. Chipped up, looking there for Ratcliffe. Again, knocked down on the defensive line there by the Red Raiders. Nick Smith sent over on the near wing to Ethan Roebuck. Uniontown was trying to spring Rocco Fuhrer, another co-captain wearing number 6. Mustangs on the counterattack. Too far there. On the through ball intended for Cole Radcliffe. Noah Holland sending it back to center. Jackson Nairn trying to knock it down, but picked up by Rocco Fuhrer for Uniontown. Play whistle on the offsides there. Hospa-Davis, the recipient. On the Uniontown side, or no, it's going to be a foul called here on Laurel Highlands. I don't have an offsides there on Hospa-Davis, but a foul called actually behind the play there on the Mustangs, and Braylon Woods will take the free kick here for Uniontown. Woods from about 46 yards out on the blast into the box, looking for a header. Nothing happening there for Uniontown. The ruling is, though, his last touch by the Mustangs going out. So will be a Uniontown corner kick. Logan Davis to put it down for the Red Raiders. With a lob going right to O'Neal with a little juggle, and Daniel hopping on it to make the save there for Laurel Highlands. Again, with the rain falling A little bit heavier right now. Could get some of those wet balls tonight. Could play a factor in this game. Header there from Radcliffe, trying to get a little give and go action with Nair, and Radcliffe back into the box, and what a save from Noah Holland. Holland actually making the save there, keeping the ball in between his legs to pin it in and keep it away from Radcliffe. Another quick whistle. And Radcliffe's down behind the play. Injury stoppage. 34-35 left here in the first half. Now they'll tend to Radcliffe. Hopefully Cole's okay. Look at the training staff and actually assistant coach Jerry Rogers Jr. coming over, trying to help Cole up. And now Cole limping, walking to the Mustang bench. Good to see him back on his feet. Give us an opportunity to remind you that our match coverage here tonight brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist. Now part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters in South Union Township. Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. So after the injury stoppage, Mustangs with the ball. We're 5.5 minutes in of our second of two tonight on the network. The Laurel Highlands boys taking on Uniontown. Laurel Highlands girls with a 6-1 win over the Lady Raiders to start the night. Maddox McAllister, the blast going off of Ethan Roebuck, and Roebuck back on the ball here for Uniontown. And sent it off to his left, intended there for Rocco Fuhrer, but broken up on the Laurel Highlands side by Ethan Perkins. Rockwell back on it. Trying to go crossfield on the far side. Pulled in there by Carson D'Amico. The substitution for Cole Radcliffe was Elliott Bohr, number 42. So Bohr in for Radcliffe. We hope that's short-lived. Red Raiders looking for a good break up there by Casey Mahoney on the Laurel Highlands side. The Red Raiders buzzing right now. And Matt Kolensik trying to lead the counterattack. Got a touch from Bohr, lob by Rockwell in the direction of Brewsda, and Brewsda off of a deflection, gets it back for the Mustangs. Pokes it down the near wing to Rockwell, tries to cross back. Looking there for Bohr, never got in his direction. Ethan Roebuck now for Uniontown. Trying to work his way around Maddox McAllister. Good defense from McAllister. Mustangs keep it alive. Rockwell back to Maddox again. Mustang senior. Over to Tanner Brewsda. Another touch from Kolensik. The far side. D'Amico broken up by Braylon Woods, and look out here, Uniontown breaking back. Cal Hospadavis on the ball. Hospadavis over to Braylon Woods. Sent away again by the Mustangs. Now the Red Raiders on their defensive line with 32-25 left here in the first half. Uniontown and Laurel Highlands scoreless so far. Red Raiders break back. Little crosser. O'Neal the save. Gave up the rebound, but Uniontown can't get to the ball. And the Mustangs clear again with Mahoney sending it over the Uniontown bench and out. Almost 8 minutes into this first half. Red Raiders take the throw in, but Laurel Highlands controls with Matt Kolensik. Trying to push it over to Rockwell. Rockwell still battling. Braylon Woods gets a touch. Ball goes out of play here on the near side. And the ruling's going to be Laurel Highlands ball. Both teams kind of looking at the officials, wonder which way it's going to go. It's a Mustangs ball as Maddox McAllister dries it off. Lobs it in, looking for Tanner Brewsda. Goes between defenders. Brewsda off to his right. Got around 3 Red Raiders on a great through ball down on the far side that is scooped up by Noah Holland. Brewster trying to feed Jackson Nairn. And the Mustangs trying to get control here again. A Rocco Fuhrer there for Uniontown, losing it to Ryan Rockwell. Rockwell setting it back up again on the Mustang side. Pulling it over to D'Amico. Good defense by Ty Harvey for Uniontown. D'Amico trying to battle back with Nairn. Nairn getting a piece of it. Ball goes out of play on the far side, and Ty Harvey will take the throw in here for Uniontown. Almost 10 minutes in. And Harvey almost losing it there on the throw as the ball kind of slipped between his hands. Mentioned how wet the ball is right now. The rain falling much harder here for the boys' game than it did earlier when the two schools' girls' programs got together. That one ruled off of board and out. Nick Smith takes the throw in now for Uniontown. He's actually going to pull it back here and allow a teammate to send it in. That'll be Ty Harvey again. Lobbing it back in the direction of Cal Hospidavis. Mustangs get a quick poke. Most of the action here on the far boundary right now. Brody Baker around the ball wearing 23 as it's a lob back in O'Neill's direction. Daniel with the quick cover on the outlet over to Ryan Rockwell as Laurel Highlands looks for open space. But Uniontown's Nick Smith able to knock it down. Goes back in the direction of Brody Baker for Laurel Highlands. Baker trying to pull it in. Was it ruled out of play? Yes, it was. After a little hesitation, officials didn't make the quick call. Make it eventually there as Baker sends it back in. Up to Brewster. Look out here, Tanner Brewster on the run. Numbers favor Uniontown. Braylon Woods defending. And Woods able to give the Red Raiders at least momentary possession coming back. Jackson Nairn stepping in front of Woods, knocking it out of play, and Woods will trigger it back in on the Uniontown side. Almost 11 minutes in. This match between Uniontown and Laurel Highlands still scoreless here tonight on the South Union Township Sports Network. Laurel Highlands coming in 4-6-1, 3-6 in Section 2 play. Uniontown 2-8 overall, 0-8 in Section 3 play. The Red Raiders back on the ball on the far side. The two teams split the season series last year. This is the lone meeting between Uniontown and Laurel Highlands here in 2024. Mustangs enter play today after back-to-back shutout losses last week. Both Thomas Jefferson and Ringgold getting clean sheets against the Mustangs. TJ winning 5-0 over Laurel Highlands. Ringgold a 2-0 win, but the Mustangs right before that second game of the year between TJ and Laurel Highlands. There's going to be a handball called there on the Mustangs. Tanner Brewster had a resumption of the first meeting that was delayed here because of lightning after the first overtime. A game that was started back on August the 27th. Laurel Highlands won in the second overtime session, 3-2. So the week wasn't totally lost for the Mustangs. And still they're in a tough spot as far as trying to make the postseason. As you enter the second week of the second half of the conference season, really trying to make up some ground. Not going to be easy in a very competitive conference. Boys out of play off of Laurel Highlands. Nick Smith takes the throw in there for Uniontown. Over to Braylon Woods. Back to Smith. Lob into the box. Headed out by the Mustangs' Casey Mahoney over to Elliott Bohr. Bohr trying to work his way around Cal Hospidavis, and a foul called here on Hospidavis. And a free kick for the Mustangs. Schedule ahead for Laurel Highlands. They're back in action tomorrow night on the road at South Fayette. They'll host Trinity here coming up on Thursday. Our next TV game will be October the 10th when they host Bethel Park. We'll have the LH girls in action next Monday against Albert Gallatin. Free kick here for the Mustangs. Never gets into the box. Ryan Rockwell, the lone man back, was deflected back, though, in Elliott Bohr's direction. Springs back here on the near side. And picked up by Nick Smith for Uniontown. Smith a good ball down the field. But Casey Mahoney finds it again for the Mustangs. Went through Jackson Nairn, back to Ty Harvey for Uniontown. In Braylon Woods' direction. Another touch from Tommy Harisi. And lobbed down on the far side as Hospidavis tries to track it down. O'Neill way out. Able to get a little poke out, allowing Mahoney again to clear on the Laurel Highlands side. With 26-21 left here in the first half. Ball finally going out of play. Took a while before it went over the far boundary and out. Got our first change of the night here on the Uniontown side. And like Laurel Highlands, Uniontown's boys will have a conference match tomorrow as well. Red Raiders, though, back at home against Franklin Regional at Bill Power Stadium. Now the Red Raiders having some trouble clearing. Ryan Rockwell on the ball. Rockwell, a shot went right off the post. Mustangs keep it alive. Down in the box is Jackson there. No foul called. We play on. And Uniontown with possession, but Rockwell oh so close. Sending it off the far post. Wouldn't be surprised if Noah Holland goes over there and gives the post a little kiss there for the help. Match remains scoreless. Touch from D'Amico. Back over to Matt Kolensik. Mustangs buzz again. And that's Kolensik breaking down the far side, crossing, looking for Rockwell. Ball comes loose again. Rockwell going back to the top of the 18-yard box. Gets a little reinforcement there for Maddox McAllister. Touch back from Bohr. Over to Ethan Perkins. Up to Bohr again. Elliott Bohr on for Cole Radcliffe. Looking for Kolensik. Couldn't hang on as Braylon Wood sends it back the other way. Look out there. Daniel O'Neill way out on the blast. And it'll go out for a goal kick on the other side. So O'Neill coming about 45 yards out there. Sending it back for Laurel Highlands. O'Neill not afraid to be aggressive on the Laurel Highlands side. Has really caught the eye of many coming into the 2024 season. We saw the Mustangs for the first time. A lot of folks unaware of O'Neill's prowess, saying, hey, where do we get this keeper from? He's been very impressive. He faced a number of games where he's had double-digit shots on goal coming against him. Brewsda run back for the Mustangs. Big initial save from Holland, but he gave up the rebound. And Brewsda sending it in for the first goal of the night. Tanner Brewsda for Laurel Highlands striking here at the 24:04 mark of the first half. And the Mustangs take a 1-0 lead over the Red Raiders. Tanner Brewsda not giving up. Great initial save from Noah Holland. But Brewsda coming back and giving the Mustangs a 1-0 lead. Now Uniontown getting things restarted here with Cal Hospadavis. Back to Braylon Woods. Now Ethan Roebuck. Roebuck on the near boundary, crossing out in front. Red Raiders body it down. Mustangs with the poke it back out. Little push and a shove there on the backside, but the Mustangs with another opportunity breaking back, and that one going off the side of the goal. That was Roman Georgian taking that shot. So Georgia just entered. Almost scored. George coming in there for Connor D'Amico. Mustangs got some nice runs here over the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Mustang goal by number 15, Tanner.
There's Jackson there knocking one down on the Laurel Highlands side. Red Raiders, though, picking it back up. Ethan Roebuck was looking there for Rocco Fuhrer. The Red Raiders look for a little possession time. Settled again for Braylon Woods. Up on the near wing to Ethan Roebuck. Roebuck trying to dig it out of the corner. Good slide tackle attempt there on the Laurel Highlands side. That was Ethan Perkins going down, knocking it away. Went off of Uniontown going out, so O'Neill will take the goal kick here at the 22:35 mark of the first half. And our next broadcast of any kind will come your way Friday. High school football here on the South Union Township Sports Network in cooperation with WMBS. Mustangs hosting the Ringgold Rams on the air with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show at 6. Opening kick set for 7. And next week, a pair of soccer games here on the network. Monday, the Laurel Highlands girls in action against Albert Gallatin. Big night, 30th anniversary of the inaugural 1994 Laurel Highlands girls soccer program is Brewster here looking for the brace. Brewster top of the box, almost got tripped up. Good heel back. Ryan Rockwell sends it off to his right. Roman George there again. His low shot just missed wide on the near side. George oh so close. Great combination there on the front line. Brewster, George, and Rockwell almost giving Laurel Highlands a 2-goal lead. Red Raiders making a change. Zachary Fisher, sophomore wearing number 17, seeing his first match action. And 17 on the other side, Maddox McAllister letting it go out of play, and he'll take a throw-in. Sending it in to Jackson Nairn. Broken up by Ethan Roebuck. Forward looking for Hospa Davis. Deflected back in Nairn's direction. Jackson on the settle. Comes forward down the near boundary. Got pushed down, and that'll be a foul called on Ethan Roebuck and Uniontown. So a free kick here for the Mustangs almost midway through this first half on a wet night at Mustang Field at Laurel Highlands High School tonight. Brian Morozak with Carl Childs behind the camera. Jason Taylor, your public address announcer tonight. Appreciate you joining us here in the South Union Township Sports Network. Nairn with the boot goes to the top of the box, headed back by Uniontown's Ty Harvey. And that'll actually set up the Red Raiders with a counterattack opportunity, but McAllister will leave it there for O'Neill. We'll try to set it back up for Jackson Nairn. Will be Braylon Woods on the knockdown for Uniontown. Here's Woods, touching it down on the far side to Fuhrer. And the Mustangs break up that attack. And Roman George is looking impressive tonight for Laurel Highlands. Back on the ball. George, only a freshman. George down the far wing. George staying on it. Cross out in front. Rockwell there. Couldn't knock it down. But George creating all kinds of opportunities for Laurel Highlands here in the opening 20 minutes. That one ruled touch by Uniontown. Or was it? No. Touched by the Mustangs going out. Just a throw-in. Not over the back boundary line. So McAllister will knock it down. Now the play whistled down. Here with 19:35 left in the first half. Lone goal scored by the Mustangs, Tanner Brewster, at the 24:04 mark. Put Laurel Highlands on top 1-0. Logan Hall blasted ahead there for Uniontown. It's deflected back on the Laurel Highlands side. Elliott Bohr over to Rockwell, and now Bohr again. Up to Brewster. And there's Matt Kolensik. Broken up, and Braylon Woods coming back on the Uniontown side. Red Raiders back through center. Jackson Nairn. Nairn sending it down on the far side. Looking for again for Roman George, and George out of the pack with the ball again. For having it knocked away by Ty Harvey, and then a little collision trip up. I think it might be Ian Roderick. Did Roderick come into the game wearing number 9 there on the Uniontown side? We'll double check that. Nonetheless, the play whistled down. A free kick here for Uniontown. 18:11 left in the first half. Well played. It's been entertaining. A lot of end-to-end action, scoring opportunities for both the Mustangs and the Red Raiders in the opening 22 minutes. That ball cleared out of play on the far side. Mustangs take the throw-in. The Woods will control there on the Uniontown side. Woods back through center. Low ball down the far wing. And the Red Raiders look to center there, but it's Daniel O'Neill that scoops it up again for Laurel Highlands. Up to Ryan Rockwell. Rockwell, a little burst, like he hit the turbo button. And the low ball down to Roman George again. Bruised this to his left. George looking for the crosser. Knocked down by Noah Holland. Holland's had some big saves in this first half for Uniontown. Just gave up the one rebound on the Brewster goal. That's been it. was 23 minutes in. And Zachary Fisher sending it into the corner now on the Uniontown side. Red Raiders trying to answer back. Shot going right on O'Neal, hit the crossbar. They're going to rule this out of play on the shot attempt there from Ethan Roebuck. Did it hit the football crossbar too? If not, it shouldn't have been ruled out of play. It was close. Will be another corner kick. Coming up here for Uniontown. Braylon Woods to take it. Woods out of the corner, going high. And rolling out to the top of the box. That's the Mustangs on the ball for the moment. Roman George having it poked out. Laurel Highlands will keep possession. Jackson Nairn will send it ahead. But no Mustangs on that side of the field. Ball again rolling out with 15:45 left before halftime. Tanner Brewster the lone goal tonight as Laurel Highlands leads Uniontown by a score of 1-0. Braylon Woods off the throw in there for the Red Raiders, sending it out again on the far side. Our match coverage brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now a part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Ball rolling back to Uniontown keeper Noah Holland. Will dribble it out to the top of the 18-yard box, then blast it back to center. Where it's knocked down by Ethan Roebuck. Trying to lead a run forward. You had Cal Hospadavis trying to sneak behind the play. Uniontown never got the ball in his direction. And the Mustangs again find it here at center with Jackson Nairn. Here's Nairn dribbling around. Poke forward looking for Brewster. Red Raiders get a quick touch, but Matt Kolensik finds it again for Laurel Highlands. Nairn, Kolensik, and now Elliott Bohr, who came on after an early injury by Cole Radcliffe. We've yet to see Radcliffe return to the game on the Laurel Highlands side. That poke a little bit too far there for Roman George. We mentioned the Mustangs do have a conference game tomorrow. Maybe one of the reasons if Radcliffe might even be 50-50 to come back. You keep him on the bench. They always want to beat your crosstown rival. It's the conference games that will decide if you get into the postseason. And the Mustangs, 2 of those this week against South Fayette and Trinity. I'll try to go up 2 here as Rockwell a poke, but no one available on the break as Holland again scoops it back up on the Uniontown side. It's been a quick moving first half. We're already down to 13:34 left before halftime. Laurel Highlands leading Uniontown by a score of 1-0 on a Tanner Brewster goal. And Zachary Fisher on it there for Uniontown. Fisher didn't start. Has been on for the last 5 minutes or so on the Red Raiders side. We mentioned during the girls' match earlier, really credit Uniontown's head coach Jamie Holland, as busy as he's been during the fall, not only coaching the Uniontown girls soccer program, but coaching the Uniontown boys soccer team as well, taking on both gigs. Not an easy thing to do. Probably not too many free minutes in the fall for Jamie Holland. Here's a shot right on O'Neal. And Daniel making another save on the far side on that Ty Harvey shot. Now Daniel will blast back towards center. George missed there on the header. Now Jackson Nairn trying to battle forward there with Tanner Brewster. Nairn coming in, allowing Brewster to get the loose ball. Brewster poking, looking for Ryan Rockwell. Rockwell on sides, coming on the far side, gives the Mustangs a 2-0 lead. Well set up again, and Rockwell blasting it past Noah Holland, and Laurel Highlands leads 2-0 here at the 12:19 mark of the first half. It was just a matter of time before the Mustangs would get another one. Bruised on the first, and now Rockwell on the second. And Laurel Highlands a little cushion on 12-19 left before halftime. You go back to last year, again, we mentioned both games between the two schools decided by scores of 2-1. And the Red Raider 2-1 win snapped a 34-game Laurel Highlands winning streak in this series. We brought you that match back in August of 2023, and it really felt so great for those Uniontown kids as Rockwell looks for another shot. It waited so many years to knock off their crosstown rival, going 19 years without a win in the series before finally getting one last year, and the Mustangs getting revenge on September the 25th. And again, this is the only meeting between Uniontown and Laurel Highlands here in 2024, with the Mustangs playing in Section 2, Uniontown playing in Section 3. Just a shame the WPIAL, with both programs being 3A schools, would split them up and put them in different conferences, considering the fact the schools are separated by about 2 miles. And you throw the rivalry factor as well. Kind of a shame the WPIAL wouldn't have taken that into consideration, because you probably could have made another move with schools as Elliott Bohr comes into the box. The ball's loose. Bohr looking for him, and the Red Raiders poke it away. Great job on the back line. I think it was Ty Harvey that got a piece of it there for Uniontown after it snuck by Noah Holland, keeping the score 2-0 in favor of Laurel Highlands over Uniontown. And now Kyle Hospadavis trying to break down the far wing for the Red Raiders. Uniontown an opportunity, a little poke. And O'Neal coming out. We'll just knock it down here. Do we have a whistle? Yes, we do. Didn't hear it from up here. It was whistled down. A free kick coming back here for Laurel Highlands. And you look at the Red Raiders section. We'll get to it here in a moment, but a good slide tackle by Laurel Highlands' Brody Baker, slowing down the Uniontown run, and now the Mustangs on the counterattack, trying to create here. Brewsda forward to Baker. Brewsda staying on. Already 1 goal tonight. Brewsda looking for number 2. Brewsda unable to get a shot away. Played back for Ryan Rockwell and picked up by Uniontown's Tommy Harisi. Angled off on the near side, unable to track it down there. Nick Smith goes out of play for a Mustang throw-in. Maddox McAllister to take it. Looking for Brewsda. Played back on the Uniontown side. Rocco Fuhrer finding the loose ball. McAllister comes back defensively. Over to Ethan Perkins. Has to watch his back there. Sends it over to O'Neal, taking the safe route. Played ahead after a touch from Kolensik. Blasted by Mahoney, rolling all the way back to Noah Holland. But Uniontown in a conference with Greater Latrobe, Franklin Regional, Taylor Alderdice, Penn Trafford, West Mifflin, Bell Vernon, and Washington. Laurel Highlands on the other end, with Bethel Park, Thomas Jefferson, Ringgold, Trinity, South Fayette, Albert Gallatin, and McKeesport. So you have the Mustangs with the Colonials, but not with the Red Raiders. And to me, you could have almost shifted Bell Vernon and Washington into Section 2 and moved Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin into Section 3. You still maintain at least the Fayette County rivalries. And you'd bring Bell Vernon and Washington and other schools of closer proximity like Thomas Jefferson, Ringgold, Trinity, and South Fayette, and McKeesport. To me, you would think that would make a lot of sense, but again, I didn't put together the conference grids and alignments for the next 2 years. A little battle here in the Laurel Highlands zone. Ball won by Ethan Roebuck. And then lost again to Matt Kolensik for Laurel Highlands. Kolensik tripped up from behind, and we'll get a foul called here on Uniontown. Chase King initiated the contact, number 7. King, another Red Raider that didn't get the start, but seeing some match action. sophomore. 2-0 lead for Laurel Highlands. Almost at halftime, our second of two tonight on the South Union Township Sports Network. Laurel Highlands girls with a 6-1 win earlier tonight over Uniontown. And we'll have the girls again on the network on Monday against Albert Gallatin Senior Night and the 30th anniversary on the first Laurel Highlands girls soccer team from 1994 reunion night here at Mustang Field. Final home game for the Laurel Highlands girls, but as things stand right now, the LH girls might be headed to the WPIAL playoffs. Jackson Nairn will take the throw-in. Who knows, may even have some playoff soccer here on the South Union Township Sports Network, depending on how things shake out. Here's a little poke down to Ryan Rockwell. Plays on sides to his left to Maddox McAllister. And now ruled off sides, but McAllister missed anyways on the far side. Down to 6:25 left here in the first half. We'll get a goal kick from Noah Holland. Brian Morozak along with Carl Childs tonight. Jason Taylor, public address announcer, will hear from time to time as well. And both of these schools back in action tomorrow. Uniontown at home against Franklin Regional. Laurel Highlands on the road at South Fayette. Down under 6 minutes left here in the first half. McAllister on the throw-in, headed by Rockwell. Played ahead, looking for Tanner Brusda. And Braylon Woods finds it back on the Uniontown side. Touch from Ethan Roebuck. Red Raiders, though, can't make anything happen. And Brusda will spin his way back here for the Mustangs. No one home on the near wing. Was deflected, though, out off of Uniontown going out. So Brusda to reload. And it's been a busy fall for Tanner Brusda. Both the punter and the kicker on the Laurel Highlands football team. Ryan Rockwell will send it back in. That goes into the box. Roman Georgia shot deflected off of Noah Holland. Still loose on the far side. Another block out in front. So the Red Raider defense coming up big there. I think that was Chase King that knocked down the second Laurel Highlands shot attempt. Mustangs still buzzing on the far side there with Brody Baker. Baker trying to set up Jackson Nairn. Went out of play off of Uniontown and out. Nairn on the throw-in. Back in Brusda's direction. Controlled by Uniontown. Here's Braylon Woods on the counterattack. And that one whistled down coming back. Was that offsides? It's like it was. With 4:25 left before halftime. Mustangs will have a free kick. Uniontown with a substitution awaiting on the far side. Top teams in the Red Raiders Conference this year, Greater Latrobe and Franklin Regional. Greater Latrobe 7-1 in the conference, 8-3 overall. Panthers 7-2 overall, 6-1 in the conference. Brody Baker, good defense there around Chase King again. Red Raiders try to go quickly, but I think too quickly there. Officials weren't ready. Actually, Uniontown was getting ready to make a change with 3:44 left here in the first half. Again, you'll have 16 teams in the WPIAL playoffs for boys soccer and 3A. Top 4 in each classification make it. Get some time in the second half. We'll take a closer look at the Mustang and the Red Raider sections. Red Raiders still buzzing when the Mustangs get a piece of it. Here's Brusda again. Has Nairn breaking, and Jackson had to pull up. Would have been offsides if he didn't stop. Timing just off there on Brusda's feed down towards Nairn. As Noah Holland will settle it back here on the Uniontown side. Ryan Rockwell on the breakup, though. Rockwell tripped up. A foul will be called there on Uniontown's Josh Paris, the freshman wearing number 5. A free kick here for the Mustangs from about 38 yards from goal. Tanner Brusda will take it. Rain continuing to fall here at Mustang Field. Mustangs setting things up. Brewster on the blast, going right on goal, but sending it high and wide on the far side. So it'll be a Uniontown goal kick coming back on the other side with Noah Holland. We approach the 2-minute mark of this first half. Mustangs a 2-0 lead over the Red Raiders. Uniontown looking there for either Chase King or Kyle Hospa-Davis. Both were coming down the far boundary. Ball goes out of play for Laurel Highlands throwing. Tanner Brewster and Ryan Rockwell, your goal scorers for Laurel Highlands tonight. Brewster scoring at the 26:06 mark. Rockwell coming back with a goal at the 12:19 mark of the first half. Mustangs settle it down again. Kalensic couldn't hang on. Zachary Fisher finding it there for Uniontown. Up to Josh Paris, but intercepted coming back by Kalensic. Pulled back to Bruce, looking for a little give and go. But the Red Raiders find the loose ball. And Noah Holland will push it back here on the near side. Trying to find Roebuck. McAllister got knocked down. And the Mustangs will get a free kick as we go under a minute left here in the first half. Laurel Highlands looking for a third goal before halftime. And Jackson Nairn will take the free kick. Nairn going right on goal, deflection out in front, and that was Rockwell again, and a diving save from Noah Holland. Good setup again from Nairn, and Rockwell oh so close to getting his second of the night and increasing the Laurel Highlands lead to 3-0. Final 30 seconds of this first half. And both coaches had said before the start of the match they'd like to work in some of their younger players here in the second half, but the Red Raiders getting a late opportunity. Ball springing free here on the near side, and a shot just going high and wide on the far side from Ethan Roebuck. We got under 10 seconds left. The Mustangs will let the time run off here. And we'll go to halftime with Laurel Highlands leading Uniontown 2-0 here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Stay tuned. Second half match action coming your way in about 10 minutes here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Back here at Mustang Field, start of the second half, the Uniontown Red Raiders and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. High school boys soccer. Laurel Highlands leading by a score of 2-0. And as we briefly mentioned at the end of the first half, it looks like we're going to get a lot of second team action here for the second half of this match. Both of these schools with conference games coming up tomorrow. Uniontown hosting Franklin Regional tomorrow, and Laurel Highlands also in conference play at South Fayette. So most of the starters now on the bench. In fact, a new keeper for Laurel Highlands, Eric Workman, into the match, senior wearing number 26. And we'll see a lot of new faces and faces that on the Laurel Highlands side we have not seen so far this year. Chase Hall getting a touch there. Played back to Benjamin Antal, another freshman. Down the near side to Jackson Baker, who has played well this year when he's seen match action on the Laurel Highlands side. And Baker a little cross out in front, got deflected back, and Jackson an opportunity trying to swing it here again. Hudson Scott also there on the Laurel Highlands side. Back to Jackson Baker in the box. Baker coming forward, cross going all the way through. And Lucas DeGia trying to chase it down. Poke it back to Chase Hall, who scores there for the Mustangs. And Laurel Highlands taking a 3-0 lead. So Chase Hall will go with a 39:09 mark of the second half, and the Mustang lead now increased to 3-0. Hall's goal coming just 51 seconds into the second half. We mentioned the numbers up for both of these programs, especially on the Uniontown side. 33 players on the varsity roster, 36 on the Laurel Highlands side. And there's no JV game played earlier with the Laurel Highlands and Uniontown girls getting together. So both of the coaches kind of agreeing to keep the starters on the bench here for the second half and give some of these second teamers an opportunity to see what's technically varsity match action. And Chase Hall breaking down again already with one goal tonight, crossing out in front. And with the finish there is Lucas DeGia. No, check that. That's 21 on the goal. Luke Grimm. You had Grimm and DeGia both around, but it's Grimm that's going to get the goal. And the Mustangs getting 2 goals here in the opening 2 minutes. Grimm, a senior. Chase Hall got the earlier goal, a freshman. They have a Uniontown injury there behind the play. Red Raider hobbling off. Clock rolling. 38 minutes left here in regulation time. There's Jackson Baker. Breaking forward. Jackson Baker topped the 18-yard box. Shot got deflected there by Uniontown's Dean Kuna and sent out of play. Aiden Cole, we understand, is the Uniontown keeper. We're trying to get confirmation on that. It is Aiden Cole in goal for Uniontown right now. Mustangs with a corner kick, though, from the far side. Be a lob out in front. Header just going wide here on the near side. Last touch by Laurel Highlands going out. Rain stopped for a little while at halftime, but picking back up again. Umbrellas back up. 37:07 left here in the second half. Mustangs 2 in the first half from Tanner Brewsda and Ryan Rockwell, getting 2 quick ones here in the second half from Chase Hall and Luke Grimm. Mike Abel knocking that one down on the Laurel Highlands side. Touch from Anthony De Silva Carmo as well for Laurel Highlands. And getting acclimated as far as varsity games to a lot of these Mustangs. They've subbed in here. Now going wide of Eamon Hamid on the Uniontown side. Ruled off of Uniontown and out. So Benjamin Antol will take the throw in here for Laurel Highlands. Hudson Scott on the ball. And a little battle. Uniontown trying to get a poke going back the other way. Cole Solarchik getting some action as well. Cole actually the nephew of our colleague Nick Barczyk. Good to see Cole getting some time here in the second half. His uncle Nick wishes he was here tonight actually working, unable to take in the match, but Nick, a huge soccer fan, tries to make it out here anytime he gets an opportunity. That one sent wide by Lucas De Gia. And Uniontown will get a goal kick going back the other way. And that's Aiden Cole again in goal on the Uniontown side, the sophomore. Take the goal kick. Mustangs body it down there with Chase Hall. Hall already a goal, looking for number 2. Good little poke into the box, and with the finish, that's number 2 for Luke Grimm. So Grimm got one earlier. Get another one here at the 35:03 mark. And it's now a 5-0 Laurel Highlands lead. These Mustangs second teamers looking solid out there on a rainy Monday night. Uniontown resumes the match. What's the continuous clock at, Jason? 6? Yeah, 6 goals. So the Mustangs get another one. We'll have a running clock the rest of the way. And Grimm 2 goals here. Might be earning some more first-team minutes on the Laurel Highlands side. A good way to get noticed. Oh, and Searcy for Uniontown getting a touch. On the Mustang back line, Mason Cece there, another freshman. Up to Chase Hall. Trying to spring Jackson Baker. Jackson's brother Brody played most of the first half. Brody a junior, Jackson a freshman. Retreating there is Solarchik, playing defensively for Laurel Highlands. Nice to see Cole out there as well on the Mustang side. Red Raiders looking for a little chip. Solarchik is there. Again, the Laurel Highlands keeper right now, Eric Workman. Mustang senior. Getting some time here in the second half as well. Scored 5-0, and Workman coming out there getting a touch. And Workman with a boot back to center. And getting through Owen Searcy. Will go out of play here in the near side as Jackson Baker couldn't track it down. Most of these guys don't seem too bothered by the rain. Certainly get used to playing in weather conditions like this over the years. Like Abel there defending on the Laurel Highlands side. Uniontown's number 8 there, Ryan Sinnell. Looking for a piece of the ball, but the Mustangs break back on the other side. And a little chip down, not going anywhere, as Ryan Sinnell just let it go out of play. Be a goal kick here for Uniontown. 32:25 left in regulation time. All Laurel Highlands right now. Mustangs lead it by a score of 5-0. Again, we mentioned during the first half, looking at the conference standings for both Uniontown and Laurel Highlands, Mustangs sit in 6th place in Section 2. Bethel Park 7-3, overall 7-2 in the conference. Thomas Jefferson in 2nd place, who the Mustangs have a win over. In fact, Thomas Jefferson's only conference loss came against Laurel Highlands. Jags sit at 6-1-2 in the conference. They're 7-1-2 overall as the Red Raiders have an opportunity here on the break. And Eric Workman making the save. Logan Hall with a nice run down there for Uniontown. Ringgold 7-4-1 overall, 6-2-1 in conference play in Trinity. 5-4-2 overall, 5-2-1 in the conference here. Top four. I mentioned the Mustangs as Jackson Baker comes back here for Laurel Highlands. Jackson Baker going low and wide on the far side. The Mustangs at South Fayette tomorrow. South Fayette on the outside looking in right now at 5-7 overall, 5-4 in the conference. They're a game and a half back of Trinity for that final playoff spot. The Mustangs sitting at 3-6. So Laurel Highlands about 3.5 games. Actually, 3 games out of the final playoff spot right now. You look at goal differential coming in as far as conference games go. The Mustangs have only been outscored 22-19, yet they're 3 games under 500 in the conference. Just shows how competitive they've been. As Jack Johnson's over to Chase Hall there for the Mustangs, and Chase King finds it coming back there for Uniontown. Mustangs lead it by 5, looking for more. Another one in Jackson Baker's direction. Now check that. They made a little switch there, bringing Jet Yager, the spot that Baker was in just a moment ago. And Yager couldn't track it down. Almost 10 minutes into the second half. It was 2-0 Laurel Highlands at halftime. Since then, the Mustangs have tacked 3 goals on. They lead it 5-0. And there's Baker, again for the Mustangs. Had good minutes. Mike Abel, that played back on the Mustangs' defensive line. Ben Antle. Antle actually the stepson of our colleague Phil Michael, who tragically passed away this past June as that one cleared out of play. Get a free kick. Actually, might be a corner kick here for Laurel Highlands. It'll be a corner here on the near side. The line drive out in front. And you had Grimm looking for the hat trick, just sent it wide on the near side. And Grimm looks like a player out there on the Laurel Highlands side. Mustang senior. He might be earning some more time here down the stretch run. Picking up 2 tonight. Little slip. That was Yager that went down. Foul call there on Uniontown. That went a lot back into the box. Look out here. Header on the far side. Ball still loose. Not out, though, and that one just sent high. Couple of opportunities. Jason Taylor telling me that Grimm also had a goal for the Mustangs on senior night. Good to see he's been a nice contributor to this Mustang program. .28-14 left in regulation. Mustangs lead at 5-0. Good little spin back here from Jackson Baker. Baker a little poke on the far side. No one home. That'll play for another Uniontown goal kick. In our match coverage here today, brought to you by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown. Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes. SWGI Specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters. And that shot sent into the side of the net. And South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. I'm Brian Morozak with Carl Childs behind the camera. Nice to have you along with us. Our second of 2 here on the South Union Township Sports Network. We brought you the 6-1 win for the Laurel Highlands girls over Uniontown earlier. A few more changes on the LH side. Ian Weimer into the game for the first time, replacing Benjamin Antle. Ashton Cole there for Uniontown. Hudson Scott there with the ball, and also Joel Tyson, number 43, in on the Laurel Highlands side as well. 26:49 left here in regulation time. Crosby France also in as well for the Mustangs. Pretty much if you're on the Laurel Highlands roster tonight, you've probably gotten a chance to play or will get a chance to play. Same thing probably goes for Uniontown with both of these schools. And it's nice when you have a rivalry game like this, too, and you can get everybody in. Kids can say I had an opportunity to play a varsity soccer game against crosstown rival. Good pressure there from France. Hudson Scott trying to step up and find the ball. Again, you have Aiden Cole in goal for Uniontown right now and Eric Workman in goal for Laurel Highlands. If the Mustangs would go up 6-0, you'd have a continuous clock the rest of the way, not like we're having all kinds of stoppages anyways here in high school soccer. Crosby France couldn't knock that one down. Ball goes out of play. Another change here on the Uniontown side. Logan Hall checking out. And into the match, number 14, Owen Searcy. Eric Dolphy, call him EJ, in on the Uniontown side. His dad formerly coached and played for Uniontown as well. Also named Eric. Yeah, throw in there from Ian Weimer. Play whistled down. Going to send it the other way. Now get a substitution to slow things down a little more. Lucas Cooper, another Uniontown freshman, will take this throw-in. There's a little poke from Searcy trying to get into the box. Mustangs find it, try to break back. Hudson Scott on the near wing to Crosby France. Sending it out front and scooped up by Aiden Cole, the Uniontown keeper. Again, our next soccer match comes your way 1 week from tonight. Laurel Highlands girls against Uniontown. Or check that, the Albert Gallatin girls against Uniontown. That'll be the anniversary of the 30th anniversary of the inaugural Laurel Highlands girls soccer team from 1994, and also senior night for the Laurel Highlands girls. Coverage starts with the anniversary ceremony at 6, followed by senior night. And the match between Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin starting at 6:30. That's 1 week from tonight. Next boys soccer match a week from Thursday. Laurel Highlands boys will host Bethel Park. Boys will have a home game here against Trinity coming up this Thursday. As of now, will not be a TV game for us. You never know. That could change. .23-18 left in regulation time here. A few more changes. I think we'll see that throughout the rest of the 23 minutes plus tonight. Reminder, if you're watching this match on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, as the Mustangs get an opportunity, looking for the hat trick, stepping into the box, now going to his right is Luke Grimm, but Grimm unable to get a shot away there. Like for a moment, that'd be a sure thing. Might have been better taking the initial shot instead of trying a little deke dribble off to the right. Crosby France will take the throw-in. I was going to tell you, if you're watching this match on Breezeline or Armstrong Cable, I'd like to let you know that all of our games and programs are available live online. It's easy to find. Just log on to youtube.com and search South Union Television. Follow the South Union Township Sports Network on Facebook for program updates, facebook.com/South Union TV. Red Raiders trying to break back here. Gavin Wells on the ball. Intercepted there by number 9, Cole Solarchik. Over to Joel Tyson on the far side. The Red Raiders find the loose balls. We approach the 22-minute mark Sent down, but offsides on the little feed ahead. Gavin Jenkins also into the game for Laurel Highlands, a freshman wearing number 12. Aiden Vale wearing number 19, seeing his first match action as well, Mustang sophomore. And Luke Grimm's going to pick it up again. Lost at that time to Ian Roderick for Uniontown. And blasted back in Grimm's direction again. Grimm with a battle on the far wing. Ball goes out of play. Uniontown reloads. Aaron Smith's giving the Red Raiders some good minutes here in the second half as well, up on the front line, wearing number 27. Had a couple opportunities to break back, and now low ball rolling and scooped up by keeper Aiden Cole for Uniontown. He'll send it back in Aaron Smith's direction. Smith a little collision there with Cole Solarchik on the Uniontown side. Goes back over to Lucas Cooper and sent wide. Red Raiders come back with a little low roller in front of Workman. He's able to make the save. Eric Workman, senior keeper. Play it back towards center. And look out here on the break. Luke Grimm ruled offsides. He was behind the last defender. Officials on that well. It was midway through this second half. And Mustang football coming up on Friday as they host Ringgold. On the air at 6 o'clock with our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. Game kicking off at 7. Steve Superk will join me for that one on Friday nights. And then next week, soccer Monday and Thursday from Laurel Highlands High School. Girls on Monday against Albert Gallatin. Boys on Thursday against Bethel Park. That's the last boys' home game of the season. They already had their senior night against Albert Gallatin. Boys will have another local matchup the following Wednesday at Albert Gallatin. We'll probably try to get that game on the network for you as well. We've had some memorable games between the Mustangs and the Colonials over the years, including an overtime winner at Albert Gallatin a few years back. Being the final match of the year. We'll try to get it on our schedule. That'll be Tuesday, October the 15th at Albert Gallatin. And if the LH girls get into the postseason, we'll explore options there as far as we'll be trying to get that game on for you as well. That's pending approval with the new arrangements the WPIAL now has with the NFHS as the Mustangs trying to get an opportunity there from Crosby, France. We do not have the first right of refusal for any playoff games. We can only have rights for any games that NFHS passes on. So if NFHS would pick up a Laurel Highlands girls playoff game and decide to put it behind a paywall, we would have no ability at all to broadcast that game for you. Unfortunately, just the way things go in this day of age. That was a new contract signed before the start of last season. Of course, prior to that, you had free access to all of the games. The Triple Live High School Sports Network never had any WPIL games put behind paywalls, but apparently that's the way they want to do things. It's kind of a shame for the players, which lose a lot of spotlight they had prior to that with, what do you get watching games behind a paywall? Maybe 10, 20 people shelling out the $12 to watch a game. You might have thousands watching that folks can watch for free. That's what happens sometimes when money trumps all. That's certainly not to the benefit of the student athletes out there. Some of their skills can't get showcased now to a free audience. Anthony De Silva Carmo has re-entered as well on the Laurel Highlands side. Get a goal kick here from Aiden Cole. I'm Brian Morozak with Carl Childs tonight. Welcome Carl to our WMBS and South Union Township Sports Network family over the last 2 years, or actually last 2 weeks, excuse me. Carl, go back about 7 or 8 years ago, was actually an intern back at WMBS, and Carl's done a lot of work down at West Virginia University. Cam worked down there with the Black Bears as well. Appreciate him joining us for a lot of these broadcasts. Gives us some extra bodies as well. Of course, Billy Dice always doing a fantastic job as well. Kind of got us started with a lot of this live video streaming back during the 2019-2020 season. Billy will be behind the camera for us on Friday for the Laurel Highlands Ringgold game. We'll have Carl back the following week. Little header out in front. Nothing happening there. Another one bouncing back in Aiden Cole's direction. 15:55 left. With a win tonight, Laurel Highlands will improve to 5-6-1 overall. Is the game under 500, and it's a non-conference game, so their 3-6 conference record won't be affected at all. Loss will drop Uniontown at 2-9 overall. Again, they entered play 0-8 in the conference. Again, if you're just joining us, Uniontown this year in Section 3 and 3A, excuse me. Laurel Highlands in Section 2 and 3A, the two schools, they're separated by 2 miles, and in different conferences this season. There's Jackson Baker. A little spin around. Low shot going wide of Aiden Cole. And Jason Taylor reminding me that Carl Childs is a former Mustang. Carl, did you play any high school sports? Carl did not play any high school sports. So both of our camera operators, former Mustangs. Billy Dice, also a graduate of Laurel Highlands High School. Billy played football for the Mustangs in the late 90s and early 2000s. Jason, are you an LH grad as well? Jason is not an LH grad. You local here growing up? Where'd you go to high school at? And Jason's a Geibel grad. Enrolling from a shot taken from Crosby, France, back on Aiden Cole. And those are the things we talk about up here when it's a 5-0 game with 14:09 left here in the second half. Cleared out by Eric Workman. Never knew that about you, Jason, that you went to Geibel. Those are the things you find out here in lopsided games in the second half. A few more changes on each side. 34, Mike Abel coming back on as well for Laurel Highlands. Of course, Mike Abel's father, also named Mike Abel, the current district attorney in Fayette County. Got to know Mike a lot over the last couple of years. Great guy. He's been very transparent as well in the district attorney's office. You follow social media, giving everyone in the county abreast of all the happenings. Good to see. Mike usually out at most of the games. Probably one of the best dressed coming in here on a regular basis, always with the shirt and tie on. Always joke around with our colleague Gary Frankhauser as well, and Gary works the game, usually has the shirt and tie on. And same thing for Mike Abel when he's attending a game, always in the shirt and tie. 12:44 left here in the second half. Still 5-0 Laurel Highlands. Mustangs led 2-0 at halftime and scored 3 quick goals to start the second half, which really made this game get out of hand early in the second half. Then we've kind of settled down. Tanner Brusden and Ryan Rockwell scored first half goals for the Mustangs. That one went wide into the side of the goal. And then Chase Hall, Luke Grimm, Chase Hall once and Luke Grimm twice. The Mustangs with 3 goals in the opening 4 minutes and 57 seconds in the second half to go up 5-0. We have 12:05 left here in the second half. Jet Yager trying to spring Mike Gobble on the far side. Ball goes out of play and back over to Uniontown. Going to have to thank all of our fine sponsors that make these broadcasts possible for the South Union Township Sports Network. We'll get to those in just a moment. Another Mustang break, and we're going to have our sixth goal of the night. It's courtesy of Hudson Scott. Scott getting his first of the evening, the Mustang Junior, with 11:34 left here in the second half, and we'll have a running clock the rest of the way. Hudson Scott joins the scoring parade. So again, now with the score at 6-0. The clock will roll the rest of the way. And we'll get a Mustang win tonight. And again, the Mustangs will hit the road tomorrow to take on South Fayette. The first time those two schools actually played here at Laurel Highlands High School. Very competitive game. South Fayette ended up getting the win, but Mustangs were in it throughout the course of the game. Lost 3-1. And the Mustangs will look for revenge tomorrow night. And the schedule the rest of the way for Laurel Highlands at South Fayette tomorrow. They'll host Trinity on Thursday. The following week at McKeesport on Tuesday the 8th, and host Bethel Park on the 10th. And again, the Bethel Park game on our broadcast schedule here on the South Union Township Sports Network and at Albert Gallatin on October the 15th. That's a Tuesday as well, and we'll try to bring you that match here on the network to wrap up the regular season for the Laurel Highlands boys against the Colonials down in York Run. To give Mr. Dupont a call and arrange that. Folks at Albert Gallatin always take care of us as well. And we'll see the AG girls coming up here as well on Monday against Laurel Highlands. We'll trip up, and Jackson Baker called for the foul. And a free kick for Uniontown with 9:38 left in regulation. We never got a chance to mention our sponsors during the last go-around after we got the Mustang goal scored by Hudson Scott. They include Smith Lewis Chess, CPAs in Uniontown, Davis and Davis, attorneys at law. The Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI specialist, now part of U.S. Digestive Health. Chesler's Fine Furniture at 51 north of Uniontown. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank, the Laurel Highlands Boys Soccer Boosters, and South Union Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. Mustangs trying to break back here with Mike Gobble. Rolled towards goal. Sent back in Jack John's direction. John's a little poke. That one going off of E.J. Dolphy and out. E.J. a Uniontown junior. 8:18 left here in the second half. Appreciate you folks that have joined us all night long. The LH girls game started at 6 o'clock tonight. We're right around 9:30. And a busy night of soccer. There's a steal in the box and a goal from Mike Gobble. So Mike Gobble making it 7-0 Mustangs with 7:52 left here in the second half. Pretty little steal in the box from Gobble. He's going to be a good player as well, only a freshman. It's a great Mustang freshman class. 15 freshmen on the Mustang roster. Seen a lot that have been contributors so far this year, including 2 regular freshmen that have been either starting or heavily involved in the offensive attack, including Jackson Nairn on the Laurel Highlands side, and Roman George, who may not always start, but certainly gets plenty of varsity minutes. And Jackson Baker, another one that's been out there a lot tonight. Mustangs extremely high on these freshmen. Elliott Bohr, another one. Seeing a lot of varsity time. Wearing number 42. 6:35 left in regulation. Mustangs shuffle the deck again with more changes. For some of the folks that have been sticking around all night, some of them starting to lower the umbrellas and maybe start to make their way out of this mini marathon tonight of high school soccer. I'll turn back there from Obel. Ball sent out of play. Headed back by Ian Roderick on the Uniontown side. Picked up by Crosby France. Mustangs on the run for it, but it'll be scooped up by Uniontown's Aiden Cole, sophomore keeper. Cole trying to blast it back. Cole Solarchik knocking it down there for Laurel Highlands. Alan Etling got a touch on the Uniontown side. Mustangs break back into the box. Settled down to Obel again, looking for goal number 2. Shot never got towards the net, got broken up on the way. Lucas DeGia there again for the Mustangs. Playing it on the far side, another one-hopper from Chase Hall. Scooped up by Aiden Cole. Will take it to the top of the 18-yard box and bang towards center. Joel Tyson will knock it down. We've gotten familiar with the entire roster of now Uniontown and Laurel Highlands after this second half. Dean Kuna here on the near side. You mentioned just about every player that's been out there, at least we've tried on both sides. If we missed you, we apologize. A few more changes for Uniontown. Alter Amin Hamid, excuse me. Also checking out Aaron Smith. Smith had some good minutes on the Red Raiders front line. E.J. Dolphy to take this throw-in. Lob there from E.J. Mason Cece coming back on the Laurel Highlands side. Cece, good through ball. Look out here. Mustangs on the break, but ruled offsides. Intended there for Crosby France. That was close. Ball out on the near side. Uniontown's Dean Kuna to take the throw-in. Now quickly in there to Josh Paris. Mustangs blasted out. Knocked down by Anthony Da Silva Carmo. Now an Etling. Sending it wide here on the near side. The Mustangs will pick it up with open space off to the left, but a good break up there from Owen Searcy on the Uniontown side. Now the play whistled down for offsides with 3:06 to play. Again, recapping the scoring, Tanner Brewster got things started 16 minutes in. Ryan Rockwell, another first-half goal. Chase Hall scoring to start the second half. Luke Grimm getting a pair. Hudson Scott a goal and Mike Obel a goal to make it 7-0. Mustangs over the Red Raiders. Uniontown looking for a nightcap here to get on the scoreboard. LH girls won 6-1 earlier over Uniontown as well. Little run up there from E.J. Dolphy. Set on the far side. Workman coming way out. The ball will roll through on the back side, and they're going to rule this last touch by Uniontown going out. So it'll be a Laurel Highlands goal kick with 2:13 left in regulation time. Daniel O'Neill played the first half in goal for the Mustangs. Eric Workman playing the second half. Under 2 minutes. Aiden Vale getting a touch. Mustangs, though, turn it over. Uniontown trying to set it back up here on the near side. Ashton Cole off to his left, and a little sidewinder from Ian Roderick, covered by Workman. 1:30 to play. Red Raiders getting a late surge, looking for a goal. Ball played out. In fact, the starters with the backpacks on already. It's late. They're ready to go home. They got school tomorrow. Those guys got a game on the road tomorrow night, too, at South Fayette. Probably a smart move to rest the starters here in the second half. And another opportunity for Laurel Highlands to add another late one. 2-on-none coming back, and the Mustangs get a goal from Mason Cece. So Mason Cece, number 31, making it 8-0 Mustangs with under a minute left. Add Mason Cece in your scoring column tonight. Certainly a wet night for anybody that didn't have an umbrella sitting in the stands this evening. 30 seconds left. Lob from Ashton Cole. Ryan Sinal will try to track it down. Mustangs trying to get one final rush. Chase Hall down the far wing. 15 seconds left. Hall back into the box. Crosser out in front. Battles on. Red Raiders try to clear it. Goes through Carmo. Back to center. 3 seconds left, and that'll do it. Your final score tonight, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs 8 and the Uniontown Red Raiders 0. This game was a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Breezeline Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. For Carl Childs and Brian Morozak, again, your final score, Laurel Highlands 8 and Uniontown 0. This has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation. So long, everybody.